So let's take a look at the course here at Minasiahi, Dubai. Designed to be spectator friendly, it runs pretty close to the shoreline, taking the racers around the foot of the famous Jumeirah Palm Island before heading back out to sea at 170 kilometers an hour. Down to around 90k as they hit the hairpin turn out to sea, and then it's full throttle back towards the Palm. Last year's rankings set the starting order for this 45-minute race, and that puts number 1 Delma Marine from the U.A.E. on pole. Qatar 94 starts second, followed by the number 19 boat Pro Marine and the Italian 10 boat of La Vida Loca. British team Kingfisher start 5th, with boat 9 Al Quwain in 6th. And we're on board with Al Quwain as they position themselves ready for the start of this, the opening round of the brand new XCAT series. Sid Ben Salah on the start boat, keeping the lineup in check as he prepares to raise the green flag. That goes up, and now as soon as the fleet's in line with the yellow buoy, we'll be underway. There it is, and here we go. The pole sitters, number 1 Delma Marine, are nearest the camera, but they make a sluggish getaway. It looks to me as though the Qatar 94 boat, second nearest the camera, has made the best start. Beyond them, the black 8 boat of Fazza and the white boat of 4 Abu Dhabi Racing also getting away well and battling here for second place. On board with 19 Pro Marine, who started third. To the left is the orange machine of 10 La Vida Loca. Neither of them, it has to be said, getting away particularly well and in danger of slipping out of the top 5. From the helicopter you can see the orange 10 boat in the middle of the picture. 19 this side of them. On the other side they've got 14 Kingfisher. On board with Kingfisher, and there's Ian Blacker on the throttle. New driver Gavin Parsonage at the wheel, fighting against the wake as they fly down this back straight and head towards Palm Island. Now we home in on this duel for second place between the black machine of 8 Fazza and 4 Abu Dhabi Racing, who started back in 9th place. Oh, Fazza gets completely airborne there, crops clean out of the water, and straight away you can see Abu Dhabi Racing gain a length on their rivals. Back to our leaders, Qatar 94. Oh, and they have a big moment as the nose of their boat points skywards. So easy for the boats to flip when they reach that point. Again, you can see them getting right out of the water, but they get away with it and hold the lead around the first mark. They head into the lagoon at the foot of Palm Island then, and our leaders are about 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds clear of Abu Dhabi Racing. Driver Ahmed Ali Al-Hamli and throttlman Rashid Jabir Al-Hamli having now picked up 7 places off the start. Next up, 8 Fazza. They themselves have moved up from 7th place, so all but one of our top 6 qualifiers have gone backwards in these opening stages. Here's a replay of the start from 9. They lined up 6th but got passed immediately by Kingfisher on the right and Fazza on the left. And having dropped to 4th place off the line, pole sitters Delma Marine then got caught at the first mark and were passed on either side by La Vida Loca and by Pro Marine. A look at our virtual eye GPS tracking shows us exactly what happened. Trying to make up lost ground on the inside, the white 1 boat hits the wake of the leaders, gets thrown out wide, and their loss of momentum drops them back another couple of places. Back live then, and here's 9 trying to make up ground, side by side with Kingfisher. They've got the inside line for the next turn, and the pairing of Sayed Al-Barkoumi and driver Abdullah Al-Mahabi are about to guide the Al Quwain boat back up to 7th place. Tied to the buoy, they make the turn ahead of Kingfisher. Meanwhile, here comes our leader. Still waters through this island section, and they take the turn beautifully, the boat practically dancing across the water, and the gap opening up slightly to the Abu Dhabi boat in 2nd. Then it's Fazza in 3rd, and behind them looks like the all-white vessel of Delma Marine has regained 4th from Pro Marine and La Vida Loca. This is the view inside La Vida Loca. Giovanni Capitelli constantly making tiny adjustments to the throttle as fellow Italian Mauro Carrasco looks after the steering. A vision of calm control. And looking at them, it's almost hard to believe that they're trying to tame a brutal 120-mile-an-hour boat. And here's a great shot of the leaders flying up the coast of Dubai, one of the world's most contemporary cities, serving as the backdrop to this high-performance XCAT race. Terrific start then for our leaders, Qatar 94. Meanwhile, back on board with Al Quwain, race winners last season, but they're crawling along, and that's disaster. First lap of the race, and they're already heading for the quayside. Great shame that for Al Quwain, particularly as they're one of the home teams. Anyway, our leaders negotiated the top of the course for the first time, practically halving their speed as they tackle the tightest turn of the lap. And that's interesting, the gap to Abu Dhabi Racing has come back down to under 2 seconds. And just behind the pair of them, we've still got number 8, Faza. And this is the boat that's run by multiple world champions, Victory Team. So no surprise to see it running so well. And indeed, driver Arif Al Safin and throttlman Nadir bin Hendi got an excellent run coming out of that hairpin turn. And that's allowing them to draw alongside Abu Dhabi Racing. And as we trace their progress through the virtual eye system, you can see that by exiting the turn quicker, Faza have picked up 2 or 3 kilometers per hour top speed over their rivals. And watch this, as they charge back towards the palm, just a few metres between them, the Abu Dhabi boat on the outside is making it as hard as possible for Faza to get through. But there's a right-hand turn coming up, and Faza should have the best line. Into the next turn they come. Faza actually a bit too tight to the mark, and they run deep. Abu Dhabi having to drift wide to avoid them, and that's going to slow the pair of them down. Good news then for our leaders, as the 94 boat suddenly finds itself with double the advantage, something like a 4 or 5 second lead as they head back up the coast and onto the start of lap 3. Faza and Abu Dhabi Racing are still together in this battle for second though, but there was a glimpse just behind them there of another white boat, and that will be Delma Marine, who've really closed the gap while those two are busy fighting each other. Still in contention is the American boat of 19, Pro Marine. They lost some time at the start, but Paul Whittier and Gary Ballow are back up to 5th place now as we head for a break.